Well, look who it is. A big hello to all of our friends watching today all day.
Fancy meeting you all here. Hope you had a great weekend. Hoda's back from vacation, so everything is good.
Yeah.
And if you're at home, you are watching Today in 30. We hope we did this on purpose.
All right. Yeah, you didn't just stumble upon us. But we're going to start with the latest developments, of course, from Afghanistan. That country falling deeper into chaos. Our Richard Engel is on the ground in Kabul.
Also ahead with more businesses now requiring you to show proof of vaccination. We've got what you need to know if you've lost your card. I lost mine. Plus a few tips on how to keep your information secure.
And all week long on the 4th hour, we are trying to make your life easy. So today we're going to show you how to get ready, get out the door in half the time.
That sounds good. I don't want to be late. Can you give me some tips?
No.
Because you know I'm always kind of running behind.
Just a hair. All right, we're going to see you. It's time for
Today in 30. Let's get started with NBC's chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, who is on the ground for us in Kabul this morning. Richard, good morning to you.
Good morning, Savannah. I am now very near the Kabul International Airport, and all morning we've been hearing sporadic gunfire. And just a few moments ago, I watched one of those American transport planes take off even amid the gunfire. And what is unfolding here are scenes of utter desperation as Afghans are rushing in, trying to get out of this country. They don't want to be left behind. It has become one of the symbols of the chaotic withdrawal and what the U.S. is leaving behind here in Afghanistan.
Afghans are thronging to Kabul's airport, desperate to get on planes and leave the country at any cost. They're scaling the airport's walls this morning, rushing in. There's no screening, no security checks, just force of numbers. When they do manage to push aboard planes, they're so crowded, pilots won't take off. And no one agrees to disembark. It's all happening just a few hundred yards from the military side of Kabul airport, now separated by a row of barbed wire from the civilian side, in chaos. The military side is where the U.S. is staging an elaborate evacuation of American diplomats from the embassy. But even here, Afghans managed to push through, willing to cling onto an aircraft as it took off, rather than stay in Afghanistan. Afghans say the Americans are only focused on getting U.S. citizens out, along with some interpreters. Although tens of thousands of translators still have no U.S. visas, so they too are left to the Taliban. The militants took control of Kabul yesterday. We watched them move in.
Kabul is falling now. We've just left our office, our longtime home in Afghanistan, and we're heading to a safer location, what we hope will be a safer location. Already we've seen some gunmen who look like Taliban on the streets, and all of the government checkpoints, all the police, all the soldiers, they're gone.
Now the Taliban are out in full force. They took over the presidential palace, occupied Kabul's version of the Oval Office. Afghanistan's president fled the country. The Taliban have set up checkpoints across the Afghan capital, and their Islamist rule is already coming back. This was a popular beauty salon, styling women's hair and makeup. The Taliban banned salons, along with education for women and girls. So when the Taliban came back,
Now they've painted over the beauty shop. People here know what the Taliban want. They know what the Taliban expect.
we watched a man tear up the beauty parlor's sign in line with the Taliban's wishes. The Taliban don't just control Kabul, but the whole country and all the weapons the U.S. bought for the Afghan army. There are also reports of atrocities, including abductions, rape, and executions. The militants are much stronger now than 20 years ago when the U.S. drove them from power when they sheltered Osama bin Laden as he plotted 9/11. Now the Taliban are back as the U.S. leaves Afghanistan gripped by panic and run by extremists.
The Taliban have been taking pot shots at the U.S. transport planes as they leave, and many are drawing comparisons to the U.S. evacuation from Saigon.
All right, Richard Engel in Kabul. Stay safe, and we'll be back with you. Thank you.
The chaotic scenes in Afghanistan have quickly become the Biden administration's biggest foreign policy challenge. And this morning, under fire from both sides of the aisle, the White House is scrambling to contain the fallout. NBC's chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander is picking up that part of the story. Hey, Peter, good morning.
Hoda, good morning to you. As this crisis unfolds, President Biden remains at Camp David, conferring with his advisors. He has not spoken publicly about Afghanistan since last Tuesday, and the White House is now evaluating how and when the president should address the nation, acknowledging that Americans want to hear from him. The president now facing mounting criticism, as you've heard, both about his decision to withdraw U.S. troops and the chaotic way this is all playing out.
President Biden this morning facing a catastrophic failure of U.S. foreign policy. Our only glimpse of the president in the last 24 hours, this White House photo showing him seated alone at Camp David, consulting by video conference with national security advisors, including Vice President Kamala Harris. Despite the president's promise that the withdrawal of American troops would be responsible, deliberate, and safe, the Biden administration is now trying to explain why the U.S. was so caught off guard by the stunning speed of the Taliban takeover, pointing to the collapse of Afghan security forces.
Unfortunately, tragically, they have not been able to defend the country, and I think that explains why this has moved as quickly as it's moved.
That acknowledgement coming despite the U.S. spending $87 billion over 20 years to train Afghan military forces. This morning, the chorus of criticism is growing.
This is going to be a stain on this president and his presidency, and I think he's going to have blood on his hands for what they did.
Even the president's allies demanding answers.
This is an intelligence failure. We underestimated the Taliban and overestimated the resolve of the Afghan army.
President Biden in a statement this weekend writing 1 more year or 5 more years of U.S. military presence would not have made a difference if the Afghan military cannot or will not hold its own country. Still, he's likely to be haunted by these comments from last month.
But the likelihood there's going to be the Taliban overrunning everything and owning the whole country is highly unlikely.
Even before the catastrophic collapse, defense officials worried a Taliban takeover could allow al-Qaeda to rebuild and consolidate, creating security concerns well beyond the Afghan border. For those who served and sacrificed in America's longest war, like retired Army Staff Sergeant Seamus Fennessy, anger and sadness.
It feels like not only a betrayal of what our soldiers have bled for. The way in which we're pulling out is something that's disgraceful.
The Pentagon has warned each of the last 4 presidents that a situation like this could happen when the U.S. left Afghanistan. But President Biden will now go down in history as the commander-in-chief presiding when America's longest war came to such an abrupt and devastating end. Savannah?
All right, Peter, thank you.
Welcome back. This morning on Today's Consumer, an annual ritual this time of year, the back-to-school shopping.
Yeah, but unlike years past, this time around, shoppers are facing shortages and they're facing price hikes.
And that's just no fun at all. NBC's investigative consumer correspondent Vicki Nguyen is here with everything we need to know. Normally, shopping for back-to-school supplies is super fun.
It's fun. It's a time to get ready for the school year. This year, a little bit different. Students getting ready to get back to the books again across the country, but parents are bracing to shell out more money this year. Experts say if you haven't started shopping, now is the time to start. This morning, I'm going to show you how to get what you need and save more than 60% on some items.
Back to school shopping is anything but typical this year.
I feel like was overwhelming.
We're just taking whatever is available.
I found myself having to shop in the boys section because the girls section was completely cleared out.
Parents across the country sounding off about their back to school shopping woes.
I was surprised how much money I had to spend.
According to the National Retail Federation, families are planning to spend an average of almost $850 on school items. That's nearly $60 more than last year.
It is more expensive this year.
Be flexible.
Neil Saunders is the managing partner at Global Data. He says supply chain challenges mean product shortages and fewer discounts.
What are some of the items where you anticipate some shortages or that might be harder to find?
Backpacks, for example, sneakers, apparel, technology products like laptops, and also things like desks.
Why is there going to be such a rush on apparel this year?
Consumers did not buy lots of clothes last year for kids, and now they're going back to school.
If you want the best prices and selection, shop around and shop early. That's exactly what my team did. Backpacks were all picked over at this store in New Jersey, but just 5 miles away, we found backpacks fully stocked.
Why is it that we won't see the same kind of sales and discounts that we typically do?
We often see the sales and discounts stimulate demand and to clear down stock. And the truth is retailers just don't need to do that this year because demand is very, very high.
So how do you save money? It's actually pretty easy. First, install a free browser extension like Honey. With this Honey browser, you can actually track the price history of an item. For example, take a look at this tablet. I know it's down to $120 now. That's $30 cheaper than it was just a month ago, so this is a good time to buy. Honey also looks for discount codes at the more than 40,000 retailers it supports. Also, check the resale market. We found lunchboxes and craft supplies on Facebook Marketplace, and a whole bunch of laptops and tablets deeply discounted on Swappa. It's a marketplace for gently used tech. And check out websites like ThreadUp for gently used kids' clothes. Look, we found these Levi's for 61% off. Kidizen and Mercari are also great stops to find deals on secondhand kids' clothes. And one of the easiest tools to use right here on Google Shop. All you do is type in the specific item you're looking for. The more details, the better. The brand, the color. Google will do the searching for you and allow you to compare prices for where to buy. Tips to help you find everything on your list and save money.
If you're heading out the door, you're probably searching for your keys, your wallet, your phone.
Your brain. Well, now we certainly are this morning. Many of us from coast to coast have something else to remember, which is that vaccine card. As a lot of businesses like restaurants, bars, and gyms are starting to require proof of vaccination.
NBC senior business correspondent Steph Rule is here with easy ways to make sure you never forget. Steph, welcome.
Good morning. So what if I walk into a restaurant and I don't have my vaccine card for me and it's required? Is there any recourse in that moment?
Okay, number one thing you need to do right now is find your card. Lots of us are going, my card, where is it?
Right.
But it's stressful, right? You only have one. You might not want to carry it around, so you can go old school. Take photocopies of it, front and back. You can use that. You can also do digital. You can take a picture of it. And if you're worried about privacy concerns on your iPhone, when you take that picture, click share, and you can create a hidden album. If you have a Google or a Samsung phone, there are sort of locked folders. But the number one thing to do, make sure your doctor is aware of your vaccination status. So if you do lose that card, you can go back to the doctor's office and say, yo, help me out.
Oh, the doctor, not the pharmacy.
Well, no.
Okay.
If you are concerned, like, oh, my goodness, how am I going to find this thing? What you can do is go back to the original place where you were vaccinated with your ID, with the date of vaccination, and they can help you. But what happens if you went to a convention center?
Yeah,
you went to a pop-up. It doesn't exist. Well, you can go to the CDC's website, and they can help you find the health department for your own state, and you then give them your information, and you can find it. That's why I just don't want you to lose it.
Okay,
Don't lose it.
Let's go simpler, because Savannah and I both did this. There are apps you can go on. You can download your information and actually have like a little, what do you call that thing? That's
like the QR.
code.
You can scan it right in. So depending on what state you live in, if you're in New York, New Jersey, California, our states actually have websites, apps, so you can digitally prove it. Also, if you were vaccinated at a CVS, a Walgreens, a Walmart, they have apps. And then there are third-party apps. There's Airside, VaxYes, and Clear. You can also scan it right in. Actually, even in your phone, you can scan it into the notes section on your phone.
Oh,
if you don't want
really?
to take it back, if you have an iPhone, you can keep it there.
Oh, that's smart.
And I think we covered it when I asked about losing, because I actually did lose my vaccine card.
And what'd you do?
Well, I went back to the Duane Reade, and they filled it out for me and gave me another card as a courtesy. But you can't, you're saying if you didn't have that situation, you could also call the CDC.
You can go to the CDC, you can go to your health department. You know, there is the risk you lose it, which is why a lot of people are laminating not their original card, right? Because if you laminate your original card and then you need to get a booster, how are you going to put that on there? So you want to make a copy and laminate that one. But this original one, or this isn't the original, this is a copy, you want to hang tight to it. That's important.
Okay. All right, Steph.
And what if you have, like, you're concerned about people thinking it's a fake card? I mean, we did stories on that. If it's not authentic.
Well, if you're going somewhere where you know you need to prove you're vaccinated, and you're like my 15-year-old son, surely yours is going to end up in a washing machine and it's crumbled up. Treat your original like you would your passport or your license. When you need to prove it, bring that, and you can get one of those card holders. And, you know, you don't lose your passport. You don't throw your passport in the washing machine. Treat your card like that.
All right.
All right, Steph. Thank you.
you.
All right, guys, it is back by popular demand. It's another round of summer remedies, fact or fiction. And this time we are looking at everything from jellyfish stings, which kind of went off the rails last time we talked about this, to dehydration.
Investigative and consumer correspondent Vicki Nguyen is here to set the record straight. Vicki, good morning.
Hi,
all right.
Good morning.
I want to get to the first one, which I didn't read the answers to these. I don't know if you guys did. But you say that if you're going to the beach and it's been super hot, you should sit in a sauna first?
Yeah, if you are going somewhere where it's going to be really hot, something you can do to help acclimate your body to the heat is either going to a sauna or a steam room if you have access, and going there for about 30 minutes a day for 7 days. Doctors say this will actually help your body to learn how to sweat appropriately. So when you get to that hot destination, you're better suited.
Oh, if you're going on a trip, you're saying, not just to the beach.
Not just to the beach. You probably don't need to do that. But if you're going somewhere, maybe for a week, like Tokyo, before Tokyo, when it was like sweltering, that would have been a good thing to do, Tom.
And you put sunscreen on in the sauna, right?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Well, with your skin tone, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like I need to do the opposite if I were to go to a cold weather destination, like sit in a freezer and then adjust to the cold.
You know what? It should work the same way, honestly.
Right?
Gets you going. And
I know.
Gets your thermostat up, your internal thermostat.
I like that. Let's talk about dehydration. Is it true that it's better to drink water over the course of the day as opposed to just chugging a whole bunch and calling it quits?
When it comes to dehydration, no question that drinking small amounts of water more frequently will help hydrate your body more effectively. It's much more effective than just waiting till you get super thirsty and then chugging a bunch of water. The CDC actually recommends in super hot temperatures every 15 to 20 minutes an 8-ounce glass of water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it true you can drink too much water?
It is true. Actually, it can lead to a medical condition. If you drink like 48 ounces or more in a half hour, that can actually cause some issues. The other thing you want to do if you're going somewhere hot and you want to stay hydrated, get a good night's rest. 8 hours of rest over 6 hours will help you stay better hydrated. You also want to plan ahead. So bring, those camel packs that have like the bladder built into the backpack. Yeah, those are really helpful because you don't have to lug around a big heavy bottle of water, and it reminds you to take sips more often.
The camel pack, it's like a backpack and it has a straw that comes up. I used it on the RV trip. Yeah, I actually know what it was. I actually just learned what that was, which was hard.
And you can actually put like beer and margaritas in there, and so if you want to have a great time at the beach.
Fact. It flows just as well.
Okay, so speaking of the beach, and this is like sort of, I don't know if it's an urban myth or what it is. I grew up in Miami, so we definitely. This happened a lot. When you get stung by a jellyfish and you have children, and there's the whole thing, and I'm so sorry if you're having breakfast right now, but there's the thing where do you use human urine to basically make sure it doesn't sting anymore?
I love how you put that, Tom. It happened a lot. In the third person, you're distancing yourself.
I know.
Who did it happen to, Tom?
You don't want to remember those times
Asking
when it happened.
for a friend. So here's the thing. We talked about this with poison ivy last time. Does urine help? The answer is no. Let's clear that up once and for all.
It happened to me as a child.
A remedy.
My dad did it, and it helped.
Okay.
I'm just going on the record. We could call him on the phone.
It took your mind off of what actually just happened.
That was so gross.
That sounds so traumatic.
I know, but you're like, it's so gross.
You loved it. It worked.
Wow, I don't know if I loved it.
Well, you said you remembered it, and it helped. So
it helped.
I like things I remember and that help me.
Okay.
But, so here's the thing, and I think you're exactly right, Dylan. It's the sensation of the sting, right? So if something else hits you that's warm, then that takes your mind off of the sting. But technically, medically, from an expert standpoint, urine is not the way to go. What you want to do is basic first aid. You want to remove those stingers. If you have tweezers with you at the beach, then yes, use the tweezers, right? And then the soaking in hot water for 45 minutes, not scalding hot water, but hot water, that helps. So that may be where the old wives' tale came of the urine.
You're at the beach. Where are you going to get the hot water?
You're not, right? You're not.
Yeah.
So the other thing is bring a little bottle of white vinegar. This is a thought. If you swim in a beach or there's a jellyfish problem where you are, and it happens a lot, bring some white vinegar. That actually can help. That can help remove the stingers and help soothe the sensation.
But isn't what's in urine the same thing that's in vinegar? And again, I'm not a doctor or scientist.
Yeah, it's like
isn't it the same thing?
I think it's more the warmth of the urine that's what got people thinking this is helping, and it was what was accessible, right?
Yeah.
What do we have here? Well, we got this.
And Dad's been drinking margaritas, so he's ready to go.
Dad has a Camelback on.
This double is off the rails. What's next?
Okay, since we teased it, I want to make sure we talk about food poisoning. It's actually becoming an issue.
Oh, absolutely. The number one issue during the summer with food is food poisoning because the temperatures are higher, right? So you want to prevent it. That's the best thing you want to do. So that means cooking all of your food at the right temperature. A $10 to $15 investment in a food thermometer is probably the best thing. Getting the meats to the right temperature to begin with. Keep your cold food cold, your hot food hot. And if it's been out for a while at a potluck or a picnic, you want to toss it out.
Okay.
All right, we're spending this week showing you how to make your life easier with clever tools and hacks to save you time. And today we're kicking things off with your beauty routine.
Yeah, that's right. We want to help you cut your prep time in half so that you can be out of your door and on your way. And we're here to help us all is lifestyle and beauty expert Ami Desai. Hey, Ami.
Hello, ladies.
How are you?
By the way, if you guys want... oh, bless you. You do sneeze on TV.
It never happens, ever.
I know. Maybe you're allergic to this makeup. But anyway, if you want to shop with us, you can scan that QR code right there at the bottom of the screen.
All right, Ami, take us through some of these skincare routines, because I think that's the trouble. We spend a lot of time dilly-dallying in front of the mirror.
Yes. Exactly. And so what we're looking for are multi-purpose products. And what we're finding a lot of right now is skincare products with, beauty products with skincare benefits. And two things that I'm absolutely loving at the moment are for our face. So one of them, if you enjoy a more lightweight formula, is this one from Iris and Romeo. It's called Best Skin Days. It's a 5-in-1 formula, and it's going to act as a moisturizer, a collagen serum, protection against blue light, and it's also an inclusive range of colors. So if you're mid-tone to deeper skin tones, it works beautifully. If you want something more full coverage, there's this one from L'Oreal. It's an age-perfecting serum, radiant serum right there. It has SPF 50 in it, and it also was made with mature skin in mind. So you are not going to find it settling in fine lines or wrinkles, and it also is budget-friendly.
So you knocked
it's a
out
win-win.
I like that. You knocked out a step.
So sunscreen is
Exactly.
Sunscreen is super important. We've heard the benefits all over and over again. Talk to us about this one.
Okay, you can never have enough sunscreen, and I honestly think we don't apply enough of it. So this glow stick from Supergoop is fantastic because it is not only travel friendly, as you can see, it's a roll-on. You're not going to have to worry about any liquid mess. But one thing you can do is you can also apply it over makeup, as you see I'm doing here. It's not going to interfere with it. So it's a great way to reapply our sunscreen throughout the day. It also acts as a beautiful highlight. You can see it just gives like this dewy appearance. I'm actually wearing it right now. Almost everything I'm talking about, I'm wearing right now. It sits beautifully on there, and there's no excuse then to reapply your sunscreen every 2 to 3 hours.
I was going to say, it could also help us put it on kids quickly.
Now, we like things that work for lips and cheeks and all kinds of things, and you've got something.
Multi-stick.
Oh my gosh. So these are stick makeups. I absolutely love these multi-purpose sticks. I have two right here. One is from Live Tinted. It's a small business. You can see I'm applying this beautiful Kajal inspired color. It's called Legacy. And you can use it not only to define your eyes, but look at that. I'm applying it on my hairline. I know, any sparse areas. And then this one is from Jouer. It's a beautiful blush and bloom stick. I'm applying it to the cheeks, my lips, my eyes. And then what I love about this too, you can use your fingers. No brushes required. And look at like the beautiful flush you can get from this. And also it makes your makeup bag so much more, less hefty. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I know, that's quick. That's a great tool.
This one we're confused about, the clear mascara.
Okay. Oh my gosh, clear mascara. I mean, especially this one, Maybelline Great Lash. It is timeless. It's been around forever. And clear mascara, I love it not only to lengthen my lashes, but also if you have unruly brows, like I have unruly brows, you can use them to keep it in place. And then also pesky flyaways. Like sometimes especially me, I am still postpartum. I have all these like little baby hairs growing back. So it's a great way to just keep those.
Okay, can I ask, does it extend, what does it do for your eyelashes? It just coats them?
It coats them. It kind of gives it just like a really pretty gloss. So especially if you don't like the feel and the heaviness of mascara, it does such a nice job with that.
Okay, I like a dry shampoo because it can help us keep our showering down to a couple days a week.
Exactly. Well, not our showering, but yeah, our hair, right?
Our hair,
I honestly,
our washing.
I do not wash my hair. I wash it maybe once a week. Okay, so this is one of my favorites from Virtue Lab. And here's why I really like it. Actually, you can put it on the night before, and then you wake up in the morning and brush it out to fuller hair. It's beautiful.
That's a
also, what I'm
great
doing
idea.
here, I know it cuts the getting ready time in half. So what I'm doing here is I'm using it for my brows to make them fuller. And then also, if you have fine hair, spray a little bit onto your bobby pin or your pins, and you can apply it. It's going to hold that hairstyle the entire day.
It's kind of like a hairspray, but not so
exactly.
Without
that grit.
Take us into the shower. These shower gels.
Okay. In shower body lotion. So something that I do, I always skip if I'm running out of time, is putting on moisturizer. And this Olay product is fantastic because you put it on, it's going to hydrate your skin. It's the last step you want to do in your shower, and it's going to keep your skin hydrated throughout the entire day. So you do not need to put on lotion if you don't have time to. It works fantastic.
That's a great idea. I put bio oil. Now let's talk about nails. Do we still do these Lee press-ons? I know this isn't Lee.
Ladies, the last year or so, press-ons have absolutely made a comeback. I'm wearing them right now. These are from Kiss. They're acrylic nudes. They're beautiful. What I love about them is they take under 10 minutes to do, and they're under $10. I'm not kidding. And here's the beautiful thing is that you see how short mine are? These came like this. So they come in different lengths. They come in different styles. And for me, I need something that's really practical and easy to wear throughout the day, and they will last for about a week. So it's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Such great
Ami, thank you
so
Ami,
much.
and for these products.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you. Head to today.com/shop. And tomorrow, we're going to help make your life a little easier with products you can use around the house.
Be sure to join us tomorrow on Today. Octavia Spencer will be with us.
Can't wait for that. Have a great Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on Today.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.